We now have a price for the Volvo EX90 electric SUV. It's a large electric SUV, 7 seats, but it's quite expensive. It's a fair bit more expensive than the Kia EV9, which is a similar size. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. A lot of people have been waiting for the Volvo EX90 because there hasn't been much choice in this segment in terms of large electric 7-seat SUVs or 7-seat vehicles where they can take their children. If you've got, say, 3 kids, a lot of people want to get a 7-seat vehicle. If you've got 4 children, then of course you have to have a 7-seat vehicle. This is a really good choice, but it is fairly expensive, unfortunately. It starts at a price of $77,000 US. And I'm going to tell you whether or not I think it's worth buying this instead of a Kia EV9. But first, this is the US price. It's coming to the market within a few months' time to the United States. And it will start at, like I said, $77,000 US. Volvo revealed pricing and configurations, specifications. There's quite a few options. The starting price actually is technically $76,700 US. It could qualify for the IRA tax credit. Not sure yet though. Now, what options do you have in this segment? You've got, at a similar price, the Tesla Model X long range. There's a 7-seat version of that. It's actually pretty similar size to this. Doesn't look like it would be, but it is. You've also got the Rivian R1S, 7-seat Rivian SUV. That starts at $78,000. They're all around the same price here. The Rivian and the Tesla Model X both do qualify for the full tax incentives in the US. Then you've got the Kia EV9. Of course, there's a few other vehicles coming, but that's really your main 7-seat SUVs available within the next 6 months in the United States. And in a lot of other places as well, of course. Tesla Model X is not available, unfortunately, in right-hand drive. Volvo's flagship EV has 2 powertrains. It's got twin motor and twin motor performance. So basically you've got one motor at the back, one motor at the front, and in the cheaper versions, it's got less power. The all-wheel drive twin motor has 402 horsepower and 570 pound-feet of torque. It's got quite a lot of power and torque. That actually equates to 300 kilowatt and 770 newton meters of torque. I don't think you need any more power and torque than that personally. Now that enables the vehicle to accelerate pretty quickly. It does 5.7 seconds from 0 to 60 miles an hour, so probably about 6 seconds from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, and it has a top speed of 180 kilometers. You can do 300 miles of range, so that's 483 kilometers on a single charge. Pretty decent range, I think. Of course, it's less than some competitors. Tesla Model X long range has a fair bit more range than that, but it's still pretty good for this size vehicle. Towing capacity, you can tow with it. In fact, you can tow quite a lot. It will tow 4,850 pounds, which is 2,250 kilos. All right, if you want to pay a bit more, not that much more, in fact, around about $5,000 more, $81,700 US. Unfortunately, they won't qualify for the tax credit because it's over the 80,000 threshold. Meaning, in theory, actually, if you can qualify for the tax credit, it's a big difference in price. It actually makes the price closer to about $11,000, $12,000 if you're able to make use of the tax credit. However, it does come in an ultra version, and that costs $86,045 US. All right, the performance version, the one for $81,700. That has 500 horsepower, which is 370 kilowatts. So you get an extra 70 kilowatt. It has 910 newton meters of torque. That's a hell of a lot of torque. That means it can do 0 to 60 miles an hour, which is 96 kilometers an hour in 4.7 seconds. It's not as fast as I would have expected for that much power, but it's still very, very fast for this size vehicle. So it'd probably do 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in around 5 seconds. Range for that model is actually surprisingly the same. 300 miles, 483 kilometers. All right, where are these vehicles being built? The reason they do qualify, if they're under 80,000, so the cheapest model, the reason it qualifies for the tax incentives is because it's being built in South Carolina. Production begins in the first half of 2024. Deliveries begin thereafter. Other models for Europe and Australia and New Zealand, other countries around the world that get Volvo vehicles, they will be built in China. So the North American version is for North America, it's for Canada, possibly other places around that region as well, other countries, not sure yet. But anyway, primarily these are being built for the American market. The Australian market and other places will get, of course, the Chinese model. Much cheaper for Volvo to build these in China. All right, so recapping the prices here. The Plus 7-seater, the cheapest version, which has less power, but I mean, that's all the power you'd need. I don't think there's any point getting the more expensive version. $76,700. Plus 6-seater. So you can get the same car in a 6-seat configuration. That's $77,200. Then you have the Ultra 7-seater. So you're getting the same model with some more luxury features. That's an additional $4,000. That's $81,000, but that doesn't qualify for the incentives because it's above the $80,000 threshold, meaning it's actually closer to a $10,000 price difference. Definitely not really worth paying that extra money to pay $10,000 more. Anyhow, then you get the Ultra 6-seater, that is $81,545. Now, if you want the Plus version, which has more power, you're looking at $81,700 for the cheapest model. And for the most expensive model, the 6-seat Ultra, it is $86,545. Personally, I really like this car. I think it looks fantastic on the inside. It looks great on the outside. Hey, it is being made in America. That's cool. I mean, that's a good thing. But personally, I wouldn't be getting one of these. The base model I would definitely look at for $77,000, because then you're going to get it, if you qualify for that tax incentive, you're going to get that for about $69,500 or around $69,000. That's actually a pretty good price for a large vehicle. But I think the Kia EV9 is just a bit better of a vehicle in general. It's got faster charging, charges at 350 kilowatt. It's actually slightly bigger, got a bit more range in this version. The more expensive version has more range. I just think it's a bit better value. But what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching.